Today we're going to be learning about inequalities and interval notation. Inequalities are expressed in interval notation sometimes, and it's just showing you a range of values. So we're going to be using different ways to express inequalities. One will be by graphing it on a number line. One will be in interval notation. And the other way we'll express solutions will be in inequality notation. So let's start with something you're probably familiar with. That would be these symbols, less than and greater than. We call this an open interval. And we use that when the number is not included in the solutions. When we see greater than or less than, you're going to use parentheses in interval notation. And when you're graphing, you'll use an open circle. This will all make sense as we go through the examples. Then we have less than or equal to and greater than or equal to. This is a closed interval. We use it when the number is included. That's why we say or equal to, included in the solution. For interval notation, with greater than or equal to or less than or equal to, we are going to use brackets in interval notation. And when we're graphing, we use a filled in circle or a closed circle. So first example I'm going to use is -7 is less than x is less than 3, or you could say that x is greater than -7 and less than 3. So if I were to graph this on a number line, I don't really care what all the numbers are on the number line, as long as you put the two numbers you need and they're on the right side of each other. So obviously the negative number is going to go on the left and the positive number is going to go on the right. When I graph this, because I see less than symbols, I'm going to use open circles with a line in between. So that shows me that all numbers between -7 and 3, but not including -7 and 3, are solutions. Okay, so when I write this in interval notation, I'm going to use parentheses with the lower number on the right, the lower number on the left and higher number on the right. I've expressed the same solution in 3 different ways. What I'm saying is that x is all values between -7 and 3, but not including. Okay, x is greater than or equal to -5 and less than or equal to 10. So here's my number line. Again, I don't really care what all the numbers are, but I need a -5 and I need a 10. These less than or equal to signs means that when I graph this on my number line, my circles will be filled in. My interval notation will use brackets, and I'll have -5 and 10. These three ways of expressing the solution are telling us that x is values between -5 and 10, including -5 and 10. If x is greater than or equal to 2 and less than 8, here's my graph. Now here I have a less than or equal to, so that'll be a closed circle on the 2 and a less than, so an open circle on the 8. The line in between. Interval solution will have a bracket next to the 2 and a parentheses next to the 8. Okay, the next thing we need to talk about is non-ending intervals. This is when the graph on the number line only has one endpoint. We will use -infinity or infinity. So imagine a number line. -infinity is on the left, is on the right. So when you're using those symbols, always make sure that in your interval notation, -infinity is on the left and +infinity is on the right, just like the number line. And with infinities, we're always going to use parentheses. Okay, so the inequality is x is greater than or equal to -2. So on a number line, I only need -2. Since it's greater than or equal to, it's going to be a closed circle. And x is greater than -2, which means I'm going to be pointing up the number line towards +infinity, which is always on the right. And my interval notation is going to use a bracket with -2 and +infinity with a parentheses. And I'm saying that x is all values -2 and higher. Okay, last example. X is less than negative 5. Remember that negative infinity is this direction, positive infinity is that direction. So if X is less than negative 5, I have an open circle, and all of the values less than negative 5 go to the left toward negative infinity. So in my interval notation, I'll have parentheses and negative infinity on the left, negative 5 on the right, with parentheses. So I'm saying that X is all values below negative 5, not including negative 5.